Today's show has been focused on cryptocurrencies at the crossroads. It's been an impressive ride, but the big question, of course, is what's next. Here with me now, Meltem Demirors, the founder and managing partner of Crucible, an investment firm focused on the intersection of energy, compute, and crypto. Meltem, it's been so long. It's great seeing you.
Great to see you. I love the orange suit.
Well, of course, I had to, right? So before Crucible, you were the chief strategy officer at CoinShares. That was Europe's largest digital asset firm. You did everything. You worked with angel investors, 100 startups. I want to get your thoughts right now, this 30-foot view of where crypto is at this moment, and what are the different paths it could take from here?
High level, my view is crypto is in an identity crisis. Shoving Bitcoin into an ETF did nothing to make Bitcoin more useful. I spent 11 years of my life extremely excited about the opportunity to use Bitcoin and crypto to change the financial system. Ultimately, the banks won. Crypto has been colonized by the incumbent financial institutions, which is why I started Crucible. Every day we interact with companies in the industrial space who need equipment financing, asset-backed lending, who need to trade new types of commodities, whether that's compute or power. Crypto is the medium to do that, and so we want to bridge that gap. But in my view, Bitcoin is in a massive identity crisis, and we're seeing that reflected in what's happening in the industry right now.
So then maybe that explains what's happening, because the AI race and the ecosystem was supposed to go hand in hand with Bitcoin and the blockchain, and yet there's obviously been some sort of disconnect. Can they get it back? Can they get back their mojo? Because there are a lot of folks out there saying, once Wall Street's on board, we'll have credibility.
Well, I think the question is credibility the means to the end? At the end of the day, you have to solve problems for people and you have to create economic value. To me, the most exciting thing happening right now, we at Crucible, we financed owning the means of production, building our own GPU cluster, using an on-chain protocol where we sourced debt. No banks were involved. It was a very short time window, and we accomplished something that was useful and productive at very low cost and high speed using these underlying crypto primitives that I spent the last 11 years funding and helping build. So in my view, the opportunity is there, but the crypto industry needs to get off Twitter, needs to stop writing essays, needs to stop fighting intellectual purity contests, and start focusing on the bigger picture. The GPU race, the AI build-out is the biggest infrastructure build-out in human history. It comprises 75% of GDP growth in most economies. Let's focus on actually doing something valuable in the sectors of the economy that are growing.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. I mean, it's a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity, a generational opportunity. So I guess it goes without saying, and I know that you've expressed some concerns about altcoins or these digital asset treasuries. All of these things just sort of just even making it worse or harder to get back on track?
I think get back on track is sort of an interesting question. We are on track. There are actually incredible things happening. What I worry about is the loudest voices in the crypto industry are so worried about writing essays, and some of the voices that aren't being heard are the ones actually building incredible things that are useful. So I do think there's incredible innovation. Look at prediction markets. Look at what firms like Hyperliquid and Osteam and others bringing RWAs on chain have done. Nobody talks about the fact the majority of trading volume now on some of these venues is people wanting to trade commodities, right? So I think there's actually a lot of interesting things happening. It's just that, again, crypto is missing the forest for the trees. BlackRock winning and making billions of dollars off an ETF isn't helping Bitcoin, and that's really the problem.
So you're an avid sci-fi book reader. You put your list out there for everyone to see. You've got folks like Frank Herbert, William Gibson, Isaac Asimov. So you've got some of the bright-looking guys. You've got some dystopian stuff. Explain then where that puts. If you had to maybe use one of these books or one of these authors to describe where crypto is and where it might go, what would it be?
I think my favorite one, we have to go with Cryptonomicon, right, which is Neil Stephenson. And I think all three of the Neil Stephenson books here, The Diamond Age talks about the hive mind or human consciousness merging with technology. Snow Crash talks about sort of virtual reality and the creation of this digital universe driven by computation happening on ships offshore. We see that now with the orbital data center space. You know, we're going to put data centers in space. And Cryptonomicon talks about the creation of a novel form of money using computers and networking technologies. So I think Neil Stephenson really nailed it.
So, I mean, listen, it sounds like you're still there. You're just a little frustrated with maybe some of the, maybe celebrityism has invaded the crypto world, which it's invaded every nook and cranny of our society. You talk about Crucible and the software moats eroding. Everyone agrees with that. FinTech is coming on strong. Financial moats are compressing. So everything you're talking about, you know, I agree. We see it in real time. We see it in markets. So what comes out of this, though, ultimately, because the true believers still believe that it will be crypto, blockchain, and that's the way that will make the world easier, better, cheaper. It will bring emerging markets into the real world, the first world, and will cut out the middleman. It will kind of bring back hope for mankind, humankind. Is that still a possibility in your mind?
Here's my very simple view, Charles. America was built on one innovation, and it's our most incredible asset. It's our capital markets and our ability to be creative with financial engineering. Capital markets are the lifeblood of American exceptionalism. Crypto has built this incredible new surface area where we can build novel types of markets that are more expressive, that allow us to trade all sorts of esoteric assets, that allow us to settle and clear in new and innovative ways. And so, in my view, nothing's changed. I have the same belief I did over a decade ago when I started spending all of my time on this crazy industry. The game has changed because of the advent of AI, but the opportunity is the same. So for me, nothing's changed. It's just the means of how we go about it is evolving.
Great stuff. Meltem Demirors, thank you very much. Appreciate you.